Welcome back, viewers. Now, looks like there is another price hike on the cards in Karnataka. After fuel and milk, the state could be looking at a possible bus fare hike in the coming days. The state's Transport Corporation has now proposed a bus fare hike of up to 20% in the light of the losses it has incurred in the last quarter. Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation Chairman S.R. Srinivas has confirmed that a meeting was indeed held in this regard, and a bus fare hike in the same, of course, could be even brought to the notice of the Chief Minister. Srinivas claims that the corporation has been incurring heavy losses and the rise in price of diesel and oil is another major reason behind this move. Now, first, in fact, let's listen to what he said.
ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ದರ ಹೆಚ್ಚಳ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವನೆಯನ್ನು ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ರೆಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಕಳೆದ ಸುಮಾರು 2019ರಲ್ಲಿ ದರ ಪರಿಷ್ಕರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಬೆಲೆ 60 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ 93 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಬೆಲೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಪೇರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ರೇಟು ಕೂಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ನೌಕರರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸವಲತ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಆಯಿಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಪೇರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಬಸ್ ಓಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸು. ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಇಯರ್ಗೆ 3 ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಈಗ 295 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ.
Now, it was not just Srinivas. There was also the chairman of the NWKSRTC. This is another road transport corporation in Karnataka, Raju Kage, who's backed the demand for a price hike. He's admitted that the state is facing losses due to the government Shakti welfare scheme. The same Shakti scheme that the Congress prided itself in saying that it was one of the major poll planks and it was a big, game changer in the state of Karnataka. Let's listen to what he says.
Yeah. ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲದೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಕರಣವನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 10 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ರೇಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು. ನಾವು ಡೀಸೆಲ್, ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಯಿಲು, ಟೈರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಸ್ಸದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿದ್ದವು. ಆದಷ್ಟಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ದರನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಡುವ ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಾವೀಗ ಈಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾಯುವ್ಯ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಾನಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೂ ನಾವು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಯೋಜನೆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಇರುವುದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲಾಸ್ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೂ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಅದನ್ನ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಮಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಹಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಲಾಭದಾಯಕವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾಯುವ್ಯ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಸ್ತೆ ಸಾರಿಗೆ ಲಾಭದಲ್ಲಿ.
Now, we also confronted the State Transport Minister Ramalinga Reddy. He's really shot down any rumors or claims of such a suggestion or proposal as of now, but says if a proposal comes in, he's open for discussion.
We have 4 corporations, KSRTC, BMTC, Vayuya and Kalyana Karnataka. So far, I have not received any proposal from 4 corporations. Let them send their proposal, then I will think. Not received any proposal from corporate boards. Okay. Let them send their proposals, then I will talk to you.
Now, BJP, of course, not the one to back down from such a meaty controversy, mounted a scathing attack on the Congress government and staged a protest as well. BJP leaders, led by State BJP President B.Y. Vijayendra, led the march to Vidhan Sauda. They've accused the Siddaramaiah Sarkar of really being unable to fulfill guarantees. On the other, they also say that there are various corruption allegations against them too that they need to really answer the people about.
The hands of this government has been tied because it's their assurance, it's their promise through the guarantee which they have assured. They're not able to fulfill their guarantees. They're not able to raise the resources for their guarantees. So Chief Minister is in big trouble. Chief Minister is under tremendous pressure because he's not able to raise the resources. So he's taking the route of increasing the prices of commodities. So we'll take up all this issue and both in the Assembly as well as Council.
So let's open this up. Firstly, of course, to the callers and the viewers of the channel who want to really, tell us what they feel when such instances come to the fore. You've seen a series of price hikes. On the other hand, of course, the state government says that the guarantees are going to continue. Their own MLAs say well, the guarantees are bleeding the state. We're not having money for development. While all of this is happening, another bus fare hike proposal is something that could really come in. Though the transport minister says now we don't have it, we'll consider it when it comes. Dr. Sudha Halkai of the BJP is with us today. Shathabish Shivanna of the Congress party. We also have Srinivas Alaveli, civic activist, all of them joining us. But first, couple of callers with us. The numbers are flashing, viewers, on your screen. If you want to really speak to us and tell us your opinion, do dial those numbers right now. Ravi from Bengaluru joins us on the broadcast. Mr. Ravi, what do you have to say?
Hi, good evening. This is Ravi from Bangalore. With due respects, what I would like to say is this entire scheme is slightly flawed, if I may say so, because I've been in Bangalore and I'm seeing this scheme getting executed for about 6 to 8 months or nearly 1 year now. And I see most of this is irrespective of what is your financial status, the scheme is being executed. I see there are only husband and wife who are earning 2 lakhs per month, 4 lakhs per month in their household, and they are using less than 200 units of electricity, and they are not paying electricity bills. And I see there are software engineer girls who are going in the bus in the BMTC where they are earning about lakhs of rupees every month, and they are traveling free of cost. Why? My only question is, why affordable people? This should not be a blanket scheme. This is not a welfare scheme. If you talk about a welfare scheme, it should be only for the poor, for the needy, something like that, right? This is blanket support which they are giving, blanket offer what they're giving for everybody. And there are lakhs and lakhs of people who are
very interesting that you say that, Mr. Ravi, because there was a Congress MP candidate, Mr. Lakshman, who pointed out similar flaws in these guarantees. Shivkumar from Guntur is also with us. Thank you, Mr. Ravi, for sharing those insights. Mr. Shivkumar, what is your take on the matter?
We have studied in our intermediate economics, there is this line, money is a scarce commodity and we have to spend it wisely. It is a known fact, whatever the money we pay to government, it has to come back to us in some way or the other. But the main point, we give money for the government, please, whatever the things the government should spend on, they should have a multiplier effect. Now today is Mr. Kamarajar's birthday. Now he was the person who started the midday meal scheme in the country. Now we have seen how the gross environment ratios have been picked up after the scheme has started. Now in the similar way, whatever the money government likes to spend on, there should be some multiplier effect. What if can government or any leftist party from the country could at least tell us what are the benefits that we are able to get, because they are just saying India is a poor country. No, India isn't a poor country. India is a country transitioning from poor to middle income country.
Yeah.
No, the priorities are different. So the benefits should also be different. It should help us. They should give us some money because we are not a rich country. They should give us money. But that means that shouldn't stop us from getting the status of a middle income country. These kind of things will help us anyway. It takes us decades, right?
Okay, but also here the argument that comes in, Mr. Shivkumar, on one hand, of course, the government is giving. On the other hand, is it taking by increasing these prices or, looking at the options of increasing these prices is the question that also comes up. But fair point that you mentioned there. Thank you for sharing those insights with us. Colonel S.K. Singhal from Pune is also joining us on the broadcast. Colonel Singhal, if you could go ahead and tell us what is your take firstly on, freebies that are given away, and then of course when we see a slew of other increase in prices that comes to the fore, do you feel that, in some way the common man or especially the taxpayer can take this burden because there's a large number of poor people who are being benefited, or do you think it's unfair?
Thank you very much. This is the second time I'm in your listening channel. And what I personally feel is today you must have seen Mr. Kejriwal, CM. Long back he freed the electricity there. And that's how the things started fanning out in Karnataka and other states also. So that is a very wrong practice. Only the poorest people should be taken care of, not everybody. And you give some sort of belief to the people if our government comes, will do this and that. The same thing happened tomorrow in MP. Then what happened? Congress people will go there. They start showing their flags. The most important thing is we have to stop this. That growth of, you have to check the growth of population in India. we are going to feel very, very awkward after.
Right, that's a
2 or 3
valid
years.
point as well, Colonel. Thank you for sharing, that perspective with us. Let me take this across to our guests as well with us. We have some more callers who are, of course, calling. The lines are buzzing. You can, of course, share your opinion through the next half an hour. But let me get in a response from, the Congress as well. Shathabish here, the Transport Minister has given clarity. There's no proposal now. But you have two chairmen, one of the KSRTC, one of the NWKSRTC. Both of them saying that there is a proposal. There is a big loss for, the Transport Corporation. Drivers' salaries need to be paid. Spare parts are costly. Oil is costly. Fuel is more. We need to increase fares. 10 years it hasn't. If this is not an indicator for the people that a hike is coming, then what is?
No, the fact that the hike is becoming an issue only because the BJP, raked this issue up. And it humors me that the mindless and careless opposition in Karnataka, the Bharatiya Janata Party, is raking up a controversy on sheer speculation. You spoke to the concerned Honorable Minister of Transport this morning, and what did he say? He rubbished all the speculations and stated that neither of the corporations have proposed any such proposal for hike in bus prices. In the absence of a proposal, in the absence of a ratification of such a proposal,
you'll have to answer. But Shathabish, you'll have to answer. The chairman of these corporations are also your Congress MLAs.
See, I will tell you, I'll come to the intention behind the statements made by the chairmen of the corporation. My first point is, in the absence of a proposal, in the absence of a ratification of the proposal, in the absence of a government order or an official memorandum, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the opposition, is irresponsibly raking up a non-existing issue for political mileage. From day one, the BJP is against the guarantees. They are
non-existing issue.
Madam, don't interject, please. You will have your turn. The BJP is against the guarantees from day one. They are against social welfare schemes. They are against the social welfare of the people, and they have an axe to grind against the successful implementation of the guarantees by the Congress Party. You please talk to the beneficiaries of the Shakti Yojana.
You mean to say these are successful benefits of the state?
Beneficiaries are. Okay, Dr. Sudha, response quickly. Okay, no, Shathabish, let's quickly get a response from her. Shathabish is here saying that there are people who are benefiting from this scheme. As of now, there is no proposal, is what the Transport Minister has said. This is his claim.
Deepak, today there is complete policy paralysis in all the sectors of Karnataka, and what you said that the state is bleeding, no. The state is on ventilator today, and the KSRTC is also on ventilator mode today. And what the Congress spokesperson is saying that, the BJP opposition is mindless. Aren't they ashamed the way they are handling the state today? The system has completely collapsed.
You are raising up an issue.
Stop it. 34 paisa per kilometer was the profit when the BJP government was there in Karnataka, and today it is 295 crores loss only in the past 3 months. They have hiked the prices from the milk to the alcohol, from the land to the bus fares, everything, and in this way they are pickpocketing the common people and the taxpayers. And on the other way, they are looting in
Dr. Sudha Halka, when the corporation chairman talk about, how they have not been increasing prices for about 10 years due to various reasons, don't you feel for any corporation to function efficiently, to pay salaries, to ensure that they improve the infrastructure, there is a periodical increase in fare that's required?
Deepak, do you think that the Karnataka was in the same mode in the past 10 years? Wasn't Karnataka the most disciplined and prosperous state in the complete country of ours? Why all these problems are coming today? On the other hand, they're looting the STSC funds. They're looting, the officials are committing suicide. The farmers, 1,181 farmers have committed suicide. There is loot everywhere, and on the other hand, there is price hike.
Okay, Dr. Sudha, hold on. Let's also bring in a neutral perspective here. Srinivas has been, of course, working on, a lot of projects which involve encouraging the people of the city to use buses. Srinivas, on one hand, there is the Shakti scheme, which allows women to travel free of cost. We've seen, of course, because of that, an increase or a spurt in the number of people, or women especially, who travel in the buses. Now, if there is a proposal that does come in eventually, or if it already has been made and the government considers it, how do you think it really affects, travel in buses for the common man?
It will affect any change in bus fares will affect the common man. There is no two ways about it. There are a couple of points here, Deepak. It's a fascinating discussion, and I'm glad that you invited me. Shakti, the way the Shakti scheme works is that when women travel for free on a bus, the corresponding RTC, whether it is BMTC or KSRTC, will have to tell the government that this many women traveled for free, and then the government reimburses them. Therefore, the concept that somehow Shakti causes losses for the transport corporation is not correct. I know that a couple of corporation chairmen have said it, but maybe they're not aware of how the exact process is done, or maybe there is some gap that I'm not aware of. But generally, you don't lose any money. The BMTC does not lose any money because of Shakti, because if 100 women travel for free in a bus, the Karnataka government will pay BMTC for that 100 women's travel. That is how the system works. So therefore, there is no loss as such. I think the government cannot be increasing fares only for men, right? Now that you've given a welfare scheme for women, and you cannot increase the fares for men, because that seems like a punishment to men for the burden that they have to carry for the free scheme. It is not necessary at all. There are many other ways of solving the problem. And one of them, for example, is it is true what you said, Deepak, is inflation. From tires to diesel and petrol to from 2013 to 2024, there's been no increase in BMTC fares, for example. That's 11 years. That's a very long time. If you compare with any other city or state, we are very, reasonable in terms of. In 2013, Bengaluru used to be the highest bus fares in the entire country. Not anymore. We are not there now. So there is a need to raise the fares also if there is an inflation in the vehicle parts, new buses. There is tax that BMTC pays tax on diesel and petrol, just like you and I do. So the state government could choose to waive those taxes to reduce the burden on the state transport corporation. And remember that we also have a lot of bus services that are not free. For example, the AC buses are not free for women. So if there is a bus fare proposal, increased proposal, the government should look at those aspects where there is no free service, because I think it's not morally correct for government to say, here is a free scheme, welfare scheme, but for all the men that are in this bus now there is an increased fare. So there should be other models explored for this. Since the discussion is a lot about all the guarantees, not just the bus fare, Deepak, I must tell you and the viewers that of all the guarantees that the Karnataka government is implementing today, the bus fares is one of the cheapest. Other guarantees are in 9,000 crores, 10,000 crores, and much more than that. The total of about 50,000 crores, the outlay for the guarantee scheme. Whereas the free bus scheme is barely 5,000.
It's over 50,000 crores.
So therefore, looking at the
it's going to be interesting, of course, Srinivas. That's a good perspective that you bring in. But I'll have to interrupt you because there are a lot of people who want to, voice their opinion as well on this debate. They're all calling us. Dr. Rakesh from Bengaluru joins us now. Let me take a question across to him. Dr. Rakesh, how do you really see this issue?
First of all, Deepak, good evening, and good evening to all the panelists, basically. And the thing is, I'm basically in Elanka residents, and the road condition is poor. The civic condition is very bad, and nothing is happening. See, we are not against the freebies and all that. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
So the thing is, we are not against for the giving the benefit to the really poor people. But the thing is, the people who is getting the advantage, it's not basically the poor. Only the 1%, maybe the 1.5% people are getting the benefited. But the rest of the people who is getting, they are just enjoying the freebies, and it's all because of the vote bank politics. So we be paying the taxes is not to get or increase your Congress vote bank or something like that. No. We also taxpayer, we want the road has to be good, the health care has to be good, and the other facility what is required, that has to be good. So this is
that taking a back seat because of there's so much money being spent on the welfare schemes. Interesting point that you make. I'll take it across to the Congress representative with us today, and I'm sure Shathabish will be kind enough to answer that in detail. Venkatesh from Bengaluru is also with us. I'll quickly. Okay, I'll take that question across to him. I'll need to take some more callers. Mr. Venkatesh, if you could go ahead and share your perspective. Mr. Venkatesh, are you able to hear me? Okay, we seem to have lost, the line there. And Shathabish, interesting point. Some of the callers made earlier. Some of them say that, the taxpayers in particular want good roads, want development. That's something that they can't compromise over. Very recently, you had, the financial advisor to the chief minister who again raked up the issue of how development could take a hit. On the other hand, we also heard earlier, the first few callers who made some interesting points as well about, whether this should be a scheme that should be given to all women and whether that actually comes under the category of, social welfare.
Firstly, development is not being compromised. Development and construction of roads,
Not
of
a
course,
single
there
road
is
is
scope for
constructed.
improvement, but it is still, I don't know why she interjects every time I speak. I give her that
Because
due
you're
respect.
you're
Please
giving a
maintain
fault.
the
Sudha,
decorum
let
of
him
this
complete. Dr. Sudha, let him complete. Let him complete, then you can respond. Please hold on.
Thank you. Now, to correlate, Deepak, the guarantees or the grant of guarantees to price rise or hike in bus fare is nonsensical according to me, and it is unfair to the Congress government. Now, please look in perspective as to what Raju Kage or Mr. Srinivas has said. They said with the rise in inflation due to the adverse economic policies implemented by the government at the center, the cost of running the corporation or keeping it profitable is increasing. The cost is increasing. The cost of spare parts, the cost of fuel, the cost of tires, etc. is increasing. Therefore, there may be a need for us to hike the prices a little bit. However, it is the greater wisdom of the leadership of the Congress party that, that is primarily focused on women empowerment, and we will ensure that the guarantees are doled out even if the corporations are not profitable. We will, explore other revenues or other avenues to generate income for the purposes of our guarantees. And please talk to the beneficiaries of the Shakti scheme. Okay. You know how many people, 50% of the population of the state of Karnataka, that is the women, are being empowered today. There has been an increase in percentage of the of women in the workforce. Education for women has become accessible for women in rural areas. They visit pilgrims at their convenience of their choice. Please talk to the beneficiaries of the Shakti scheme as to how successful it is. And yes, despite the fact that
weighing pros and cons, of course, is going to be essential here. As the beneficiaries, what is their response, and the people, of course, who are benefiting and also have issues, and some people who are not benefiting at all. So all of these perspectives also need to be looked into. Some more callers as well coming in, Shathabish. Charles from Bengaluru is with us. Charles, what do you have to say?